All right, speaking of young, talented quarterbacks, there's another one that I want to talk about, and he is the second overall pick in last year's draft, not the first. The Bears traded. CJ Stroud is legitimately awesome. I mean, like legitimately really, really awesome. And there has been some buzz on the Twitter sphere and the social media world about CJ Stroud potentially winning MVP. Now, at first thought, I thought that was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I thought like, hey man, he's good, but like MVP, like we're going too fast here. But then I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, you know what? CJ Stroud might be able to be the best rookie since Jim Brown. Jim Brown is the only rookie to win MVP back in the 50s. Could CJ Stroud be the second? First of all, I will say this would have to be an extremely rare circumstance, right? This would have to be everything would kind of have to go perfect for the rest of the year. Let me say that. But then let me also make the argument that hey, this year the MVP frontrunners, there's no clear and obvious choice, right? Mahomes statistically is having one of the worst years of his career, right? Lamar Jackson statistically has been lackluster the last couple of weeks. Jalen Hurts is dealing with a knee injury, and the Eagles are, a run-heavy team, I would say. I'm not going to say that necessarily. But there are not a lot of fantastic, slam dunk MVP candidates today. That could change in a few weeks. As we know, as the playoff push gets underway, the stars really come out, and whoever's going to win MVP kind of showcases themselves. But as of today, there's not really a slam dunk pick for MVP. So if you're CJ Stroud and you're coming in as the second overall pick, you're taking over for a team that was, one miracle play away from being the worst team in football last year, you really are in a position where the Texans are now in the thick of the playoff race, right? They're 5-5. They are very much in contention for the playoff race. I don't think that they'll win the North, but the South, but it's still a possibility because the Jags looked very lackluster last week. If you're CJ Stroud and you continue to put up these great numbers and you continue to lead this electric offense with, let's be honest, underproven receivers so far in the NFL this year, could he cement himself in that conversation? I think he can. I think the Texans would have to make the playoffs. That's a given. The MVP is not going to go to somebody who's not making the playoffs. So the Texans would have to win, majority of their last games, make the playoffs. CJ Stroud would have to continue to put up historic rookie numbers. I don't think that he is going to break Justin Herbert's rookie passing touchdown record. It could be. If he gets 30 touchdown passes, that would definitely be Offensive Rookie of the Year caliber season. But MVP, we're kind of looking in the high 30s, 40s range for MVP talks. That's typically how it goes, right? And I'm going to pull up his stats really quick. But again, I do think the Texans would need to make the playoffs. I do think that he would have to have inflated touchdown total, which with the way he's throwing the ball could definitely be. I'm not arguing against it. So far this season, he's got 15 touchdown passes in his first 10 games, right? It's about 2 a game, let's just say. So if you average that out to 17, that's about 34, 35 touchdown passes a year. Again, that would break the rookie record, and that would get you kind of close to the MVP range. So what would CJ Stroud really have to do to win MVP? I think the only way that he could be a finalist is if the Texans win the South, right? He breaks all the rookie passing records. And in order to be in that same tier with Mahomes and Lamar and Jalen, I think you would have to look at the Texans at the start of the playoffs and be, this is a team that can win the Super Bowl. Fair or not, quarterbacks are judged based off of the team's success, right? They are. Come playoff time, and I know this isn't a regular season award, so I'm not going to talk about the playoffs, but come playoff time, are the Texans a team that can win the Super Bowl? If so, that's extremely unlikely, but if so, we can have a serious conversation about CJ Stroud for MVP. Again, I don't want to project that far, and I don't want to set the expectations too high for CJ Stroud because I think that he is absolutely balling this year, and what the Texans have in him is extremely special. But I want to kind of pepper the MVP talks just a little bit. Just a little bit, I will. But it's possible. It is possible, but I don't think it's very likely, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to go ahead and put the kibosh on the CJ Stroud MVP talks for right now.